Howdy, howdy. It is, it will be, it has been a blessed and prosperous day. I don't know if y'all are just as excited as I am, but I am incredibly excited today because today I get to unveil the whole, I guess the mountain of how we even got here. Right? And I know it sounds crazy, but no, I like this is 100% sincere. Like we have at the Mac and the, I can't even talk. I'm so happy. We here at the Making a Child Change Foundation, MAC Foundation for short, Making a Child Change, nonprofit 501c3. We have been hard at work figuring out creative ways and means to be able to get this curriculum in the hands of students all over the world, primarily in the US, who utilizes our current credit system, right? And so you don't have to wait for after school program. You don't have to wait till the schools finally decide to adopt our curriculum. We're going to give it to you right here today, the very ways that you can graduate with a 700 plus credit score. And I'm excited because this is the final week of Financial Fitness Friday. Listen, I miss my Friday evenings. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But this has been fun. And so we do plan on continuing the series, but it's going to change in the time of the day. So we'll be meeting and we'll have more information with that next week. But let's hop right on in. Let's get started, you guys. We don't want to prolong the hour any longer. So, again, this is the Making a Child Change nonprofit. We are building the bridge from poverty to prosperity. And our mission, as always, is to empower determined teens with the knowledge and skills they need to achieve balance and prosperity in life. And we do this through our 3E programming. What is 3E programming, Sophia? We do financial literacy education, job employment training, excuse me, and entrepreneurial skills, right? And this is how we allow our current generation to begin establishing a wealth mindset so that they can start planting the seeds for future generations. And we truly envision a future where financial literacy is the standard in education, wealth is equally distributed, and poverty is eliminated. And I told y'all back, way back on week one, exactly what all of that means in great detail and broke it down for you. So I'm not doing that again on week four. Okay. We'll make sure that we provide the links to the previous videos. And you can also just go under Financial Fitness Friday, the series on YouTube. So who am I? You know me by now, right? I'm your favorite money mama. Sophia M. Barnett, yes, the executive director, founder, I'm author and speaker. I'm not gonna go through this long list, but I just want to say that probably my biggest pride and joy that I have been able to birth, create, and produce were my three lovely young adults who are doing amazing things in their own businesses out there as well. So I just want to give a special shout out to them. Um, if you have not already, you can go check out their own entrepreneurial ventures. Mari Two Turnt. Two Turnt Department is his clothing line. He also is an aspiring artist and rapper. And then we have Miss Lori. You can catch her on Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff. She's always doing creative makeup, as well as jewelry, as well as baking. And she's also an inspiring writer. Her book will be coming out soon, so we're going to be on the lookout for that. And then finally, last but not least, the baby of the bunch, Miss Lonnie Martin. Who is our illustrator and designer for the surprise that I have for you coming up at the end of the show. And she also has her own publishing company. So, listen, it starts in the house, right? Train up a child. That is the quote. And I know for a fact I have not been I say I've been a good role model, but I had to learn how to become a mother. And even more so, I'm in the process of learning what that is to be a woman. So I'm a successful failure. I got to shout that out, right? My first attempt in learning, right? I call that success primarily because instead of giving up, instead of dropping the ball, instead of just giving up all hope and thinking that it was gone, I decided that, you know what, let me learn from this lesson and let me proceed to stack upon that to whatever God and the universe and life has for me to be able to excel in that. I got to give my warnings. Look, the preamble before we get in. Necessities for success. One, you have to remember this only works if you work. I cannot force you to do anything. I can't make you do anything. And today we ain't really got too much work we're going to be doing. This is going to be a review of the last 3 weeks, but with a nice little twist and a little spin on it, okay? Because I really love audience participation. I keep telling y'all guys that. We need it. Okay. So I want you in the comment sections. I want you dropping in the chat. I want you to participate as fully as you possibly can, right? Giving up your time just to be able to share this space and this energy with me. It is a blessing to me. So I want you to know that it is truly appreciated by all means. Okay. Second, respect and confidentiality are a must. This is a non-negotiable. All right. Anything that we are shared here, anything that people are vulnerable with, anytime somebody wants to ask questions, we're going to respect that. And we hope and know that we're not going to see all this stuff plastered all over social media unless you shouting out the Mac Foundation, right? And tagging us in your post, but not people's personal information. Active participation. I don't even have to repeat that. You know what that is. And there are no such thing as wrong answers here. Listen, this is how we learn. This is how we grow. I'm not perfect. I do not know it all. I'm always learning. I'm always researching. I'm always reading. I'm always studying. And that's how I continue to get better. All right. Until, God declares me as my best. Amen. I told you I wasn't going to preach, but it happens. So, welcome to week 4 of Financial Fitness Friday with your girl, Lady Wisdom. Week 1, we went from poverty to prosperity, right? We crossed that bridge, right? That's the lovely Ambassador Bridge that connects us to Canada. And no, I'm not saying that the US is poverty and Canada is prosperous by no means, but it's a matter of mindset. It's about taking the journey that is required. It's about getting over your fears and stepping out on faith, right? So we reviewed what the money mind is. Listen, if you guys want to be able to take the money mindset quiz, going on over to week 1, fast forward it all the way through and or look in the description box and click the link. If you go to our link tree, that's the link tree, M.A.C.C.F.D.N. That's M.A.C.C. Frank Douglas Nancy. And you will be able to pull the quiz up right there on our front page. We talked about what the relationship with money. What does that mean? Do you have trauma? Were you a child that when you went in the store, your mother and your parents or your guardians always, father and your guardians always told you, no, don't touch this, put that down? Or were you in a household where it's like, oh, whatever you want, go get it, we got it? Like that dictates how you utilize money today. Like literally, if you were somebody who was raised in a scarcity household, surrounded by scarcity mindsets, then you either become extremely stingy as an adult or you become extremely loose as an adult. And when I say loose, I mean like you just buy any and everything. There's no saving, there's no strategy, there's no budgeting, there's no investment. It's just I got it, I'm getting it. And then you almost end up in debt in that type of mentality, right? How do you spend your money, right? We're talking about this. Are you one of those people who make a large purchase and then later on regret it? You don't want to feel bad about being able to have the finances to get the very thing that you wanted. Um, are you one of those type of people to where you see a thing, you have the money, you can get it, but you're like, no, 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 no. I don't know when I'm having an emergency. I don't know when all heck is gonna break loose in my life. I gotta hold on. I gotta hold on to it. And you become a hoarder. That is also a scarcity mindset. Do we have a poverty, a prosperous mindset, right? To where like we understand the order of which we need to save and we need to stack and we need to allocate our funds by budgeting, right? We know that the B word is not a bad word. So we make sure that we're organized and we're intentional with circulating our dollars. And then lastly and not least, we went through a financial evaluation where you had an opportunity to review your own spending. And how did we suggest that? I wanted you guys to drop it in the chat, in the comment section, because you guys were there for week one. And if you weren't, then go ahead and head back over to that video and check it out. So, what is financial freedom, right? Because we hear people talk about generational wealth. We hear people talking about the release of being able to just do what you want to, when you want to, how you want to. But our definition is having enough savings, financial investments, and cash on hand to afford the kind of life we desire for ourselves and our families. And we do this by being able to budget. Told you we talked about the B word. Like, why do we need to budget, Sophia? I'm always going to be able to talk about this, and I probably never will stop. A budget is just a guide, okay? You can have your card and swipe, swipe, swipe all the time whenever you want to. That is totally up to you. But when it's the end of the month, if you're finding yourself frustrated, if you're finding yourself irritated, if you're lacking in certain areas where certain things are not being able to get paid for or it's not being accountable for, if you find yourself late on stuff or you can't pay your bills on time or you're over shopping, right? But you don't know that because you're not tracking anything. That is why we need a budget. I like to use the budget as not just a forecast, but also as the I don't need my words are slipping. Y'all know how I am in the afternoon. That's why we got to move this up in the day when my mind's still fresh. Um, Almost like like a review. That works. That'd be a good word. Um, when you get to see what you did in the previous month, you now understand your own psychology when it comes to money. Like you get it now. Mm. Remember, I used the example about the gas station, right? It can show up on your receipt and in your credit account that you spent $40 at the gas station, right? But the reality is that you brought snacks. You brought whatever habit from behind the counter. And then you got the change put on pump two. You did not circulate $40 in gas. And the moment you're honest with yourself about that, you can now start, or should I say, you can now stop spending money in categories that in your head you're like, oh, well, my gas is always high. It's not your gas, it's the other stuff that you get while you're at the gas station. And that's just a very small example. When you're hanging out with your friends, if you're the one that's swiping the card, fronting the bill, are you really eating $150 in food a day? Or did you really only eat $50 in food, but the total bill came up to that? You need to know that because when it comes to budgeting, like forecasting for the next month, you don't want to say that you need $500 in groceries when it's not the truth. You only utilize roughly $350 in groceries, right? And then $150 on fast food, DoorDash, etc. Whoever your ordering services or a restaurant. And that's fine. But you have to be honest with yourself. The other thing is you got to be willing to eliminate the debt. Like a lot of you guys who are like my students, you're going through a process of where college, right? Oh my God, student loan debt or getting in and getting in trouble with with these little loans and stuff that they be throwing at you. You have to be very careful with that and understand that it is the debt that is bringing your credit down, right? Wanting to make sure that you stay under that 30%. Savings, right? I like to call the savings and investing like a hand in hand model. I do not believe in saving for rainy days. Okay, my grandmother raised me that way, and I found out that whenever you saved for a rainy day, it was always a rainy day coming. I don't know why, but no, I do know why. You're speaking into the atmosphere is going to come back to you. So I believe in saving with intention and with purpose. Define why you are saving. If you're saving to make sure that you have a financial cushion for in case you're losing your job or you lose your income, then that's what you're saving. Those 3 to 6 months of income in that account is for that purpose and that reason. If you know for a fact that your car is not a brand new 2025 down to 2021 and it's going to require some hefty maintenance throughout the year. You want to save to make sure that you have the funds to be able to get your car fixed and repaired and or adjusted, whatever it may need. If you're going on a trip, if you have a large purchase that you want, you save for those things. And when you're investing, you want to make sure that you're investing in things that you believe in and that you can follow and that's going to grow and it's going to bring you an actual dividend and some money in, right? You don't want to invest just to say, "Oh, I got money in the stock market." Be strategic about it. And that is financial freedom. Continuing, right? We talked about the system development. What impacts our finances. This was week 2. And we broke down a strategic income model, the different types of income, right? Do y'all remember what they are? I'll wait. I heard some passive, active, and what was the last one? Come on. All right, drop it in the chat later or in the comment section, y'all. Go on back to week 2 and review. It's there. We talked about how to actually plan out a budget and what it means to create a financial plan. What I want you guys to do and continue to do, and we talked about this last week, examine your credit. I don't care how old you are. There are unfortunately and some household standards. People believe that they can put they bills like the internet or cable or lights and gas and their children's names because they have their social security numbers. And no, that's wrong. You should not be using your child's social security number. It is theirs, right? And so even at your age, you can check out your credit report and you should. So you can go to that website right there at the bottom, www.annualcreditreport.com. It is a free site. Do not let those other little fake site, phony sites come up and detour you to try to charge you for your credit report. In my day, you could only get once a year, but since COVID, we've been blessed to be able to get them once a week. So remember the 3 credit agencies, right? You get to see all of them, and you want to be able to compare and contrast those different reports. By all means, you don't want that to hold you up. Last week, we broke down the credit score with our credit watch curriculum, right? We talked about who monitors your credit report. What is a credit report? The different types of credit, the US model versus the financial freedom credit model, right? We talked about the importance of the scores and what are some best practices for credit establishment. So, let's talk about this and really think about this today, right? Because this is not like a long class. This is more so like just the close out, the climax of making sure that you guys get what it is that we have for you. So I want you to think about what actions can you take right now towards your goal to see how being consistent and intentional with your habits can create long-term success. So, right now, as a team, right, if you're somebody who's watching this, and actually, I'm gonna say anybody who gets an allowance. So, whether you're 8, whether you're 15, whether you're 25, okay? No, but we no judgment here, all right? If you even get an allowance, what are you doing with those dollars, right? Do you have a bank account right now that you can go and put your money in? Do you have a prepaid card? Right? Are you still saving in the penny bank? That's cute. Do it. It's you're building your character up to say, every time I receive money, I don't have to run out and throw it into the economy or spend it, right? I don't have to be that person. I get an opportunity to say, maybe I want to save up for a game, or if there's an outfit that I want, or there may be a lovely food item in the store, like a cake or something like that, that I've been looking forward to. Whatever that is that you like, you have the right to start saving up for it now. Maybe you want to be nice and buy your caregivers a nice little card or a gift or something just to say thank you. You can save up for it now. That's the reason why we structure our life. That's the reason why we become intentional and consistent even as children. Because whatever you do as a kid, you're programming your mind to live your life to be that way. Why do I say that? So when I was a kid, I used to sit down with my grandmother every morning when I spent the night at her house, and it was the beginning of the month, like today, October 31st. Oh, for those of you who celebrate, happy Halloween. Or for the rest of you who don't celebrate, happy Friday. And for the people in the middle, my spiritual people, happy All Saints Eve. All right. So she would oh, that's the point I was making about it being October 31st. Social Security checks for the first of the month, people came out. And the pension people got their checks today, right? I used to work in a loan place, so I know pay dates. um, so she would get her check today, right? And if I would have spent the night at her house, we would have been sitting down while she was drinking her coffee and smoking that little funky cigarette. And she would go and open up all of her bills that she had collected over the month because bills come out before they're due. And she would get her checkbook and I would be opening the bills. And I would call out the numbers to her. And then she would fill out the check. Now, in 2025, we wouldn't be doing that. We would be more than likely going online, logging in, using our debit cards. But it's the same level of intention. What are you doing with your money first? Are you instantly going out shopping? Are you instantly going out playing with people? Are you paying people back because you had to borrow money? This is the type of stuff that you have to be conscious about when you're creating a financial freedom lifestyle. And so y'all learned, right? The order of operations. We've talked about cash flow and we was talking about budgeting. Who do you pay first? If you got a job, a full-time job, who gets paid first? Go ahead and drop it in. Right. The IRS, your taxes, right? You can't stop that. Even as a small business owner, where they're not literally taking the money every single time that you get paid, right? You have to have the intentional structure to be able to say, I know when I go file my taxes, there is going to be a balance. Let me start saving a portion of that now. And you should save the portion that falls into your tax bracket. We went over that, right? So go ahead and check that out as well. Get you some details on that. So, what's my rule? If the IRS can get 15%, if Uncle Sam can get 25%, if your government, who's so lovely, is taking care of us right now, can get they 20%, then what should you be giving yourself? The equal amount, right? They take $100 should be going into a savings. They take 200 should be going into a savings for whatever you need it for. Remember, we talked about intentional savings. Once you do that, then you need to make sure that all of the things, the items that are due, are getting paid on time. And if you have the luxury, you're paying it in full on time. Excuse me. And if not, then you're paying the minimum payment due on time, right? Because that is how we establish positive credit, on time payments. We want the other people who want to lend us money or credit cards or services to know that we're reliable. Okay, we're not just going to take your money, take your loan, take your product, financial product, and oh, and throw it up in the air like it doesn't matter. All right, cool business. Wow. I thought it was look, I made the slides and it still went by so much quicker than I was expecting it to. But I do have some questions for you today that I would like for you guys to think about. One, what does financial freedom look like for you? Okay, we kind of talked about some key things today, but I honestly want you to dream. We have a sheet called the reverse salary. And Don't want to get it out as a freebie. All right. If you sign up for our newsletter this week, I will make sure that you get that worksheet sent to your email. Okay, Sophia, what is this reverse salary and is it worth it? Yes, it is. Because a lot of times when we are taught to dream about how much we want to make or what our dream job is and how much that's going to pay or what the ultimate salary for the best life that we can have, we lie to ourselves because we don't recognize how much our actual lifestyle costs. You want $1 million house, it is not going to take you to make $1 million a year to get that house. You want one of these brand new 2025 sports cars that's about 120,000. You're not going to need to make $120,000 a year to get it. But what you do need to know is how much each one of these monthly payments are going to be for these items and how long you're going to have to pay for them. And you want to calculate everything that you can think of when it comes to this dream lifestyle. That's the reverse salary sheet. I won't go into much detail because I promise you the breakdown of how you utilize the sheet with the instructions are all in there. So I look forward to being able to send that over to you. Secondly, how can you make your money work for you instead against you? I want that to marinate. How can you make your money, the money that you have right now, whether it's an allowance income, a part-time job, your first job, full-time job, long-term career, work study, and entrepreneur ventures, services, product sales, whatever it is. How can you make it work for you instead of against you? And then my last question for you is what's one financial goal you want to commit to in the next 6 months? And I want you to be honest and drop it in the chat. Listen, we about to be real, okay? What's the one thing that you're willing to commit to? Is it making sure that you pay everything on time? Is it starting to pay off your debt? Whether you use the snowball method, whether you do hardcore pay everything off in full, whatever that looks like for you. What is it something big that you've been wanting to do? Like take that trip overseas, but you like, I don't have the money for that. You have the money. I promise you. You just got to make sure you're allocating it to that savings as opposed to circulating it or spending on the right now. Okay? So, you got to make sure you keep that in mind. But those are some thoughts that I want you guys to marinate on. All right? Good business. We not done. Upcoming events, our announcements list. Our after school program is up and running. We are still taking participants. We have not maxed out our class yet. And if you are in the Detroit, Michigan area, preferably on the west side of Detroit, because it'll be easier for you to get there. But we want all Detroiters. Listen, if you are from the ages middle school and high school, and at this point, I'll even take some young adult college students, my freshmen. Y'all come on back because I know a lot of y'all didn't get the financial literacy education that you needed. That QR code, our link tree, going on over to our website and sign up. Listen, we're opening student bank accounts. You're earning money from showing up. You're learning how to circulate that money. You're learning how to budget that money. You're learning how to get your credit together now. It's fun, okay? And the kids love being able to walk around with they real money in their hand, right? It just feels good. Secondly, this Wednesday, November the 5th, Adulting 101, things nobody talked to me about money, in partnership with the NBA and Disciples Home Missions. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to work with Menagerie and Barry. There are ministers and reverends in the church, Disciples of Christ, and we are going to have an awesome panel discussion. Our first session is talking about mindset. I know y'all like Sophia. Listen, everything starts here. Nothing else exists without the thought first. Okay, the earth and the world and the way things were formed and made started from a thought that was spoken. Yes. Lastly but not least, upcoming events, our focus group. We are looking for 16 through 22 people who want to make some extra money. It is a 2 Saturday event from 11 to 1. Yes, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you show up both weeks, you'll be entered into the pot to win a $50 gift card on top of the $10 that you'll automatically get for participating. Only thing you do is the same way you sit down in this class and you got a chance to interact and to learn and get feedback on our curriculum that we have. We're paying you to do it because we want to hear from the very people who it is affecting. All right. And look, drum roll, please. The big announcement. The big announcement for today. Woo! It's finally here. Yes. Score to Soar. Graduate with 700 plus credit is now available on Amazon Kindle. Listen, baby, if you have watched this, and I'm still in the process of trying to get these discounts, these discount codes uploaded into their store. But this is the good thing, right? Not only are you getting a step by step system, a 7 step system to be very specific and precise, right? On how to graduate with a 700 plus credit score. I've utilized this with my own kids, so I know that it works. All you have to do is work it. If you scan that QR code on the screen, it will take you straight to the Amazon store to where you can pick up your copy of the book. It is a comic book designed by our very own Alani Martin. She sits on our board. She's in charge of our social media. She's been doing an excellent job. And she was able to take all of this. Listen, my thoughts, my ideas that I have up here that I have wrote out. Y'all, listen, you guys was about to get a 5 page black and white Word document that was PDF, okay? But woo, bless this girl's vision in her heart. She took it and made it an amazing comic book, okay? So it's fun, it's interactive. This is just one of three. So we're still waiting on Amazon to give us the approval for the rest of them. But what we have this ebook that is for you, right? Order it now, right? And then we're also waiting on them to upload our workbook that goes with it. So you'll actually be able to get hands-on questions and answers in real time. But this is going to give you everything that you need to have your 700 plus credit when you graduate. And you want to do this with a trusted adult, right? You also get to help them learn how to build and manage their credit at the same time. The other two books that are coming out, one is going to be a paperback book made just like a comic book magazine. And that way you can have something tangible in your hand. I know I work very well in that dynamic when it comes to learning and applying the knowledge. And then the workbook is also separate. So I'm excited. Look out for those at the beginning of next week because I got enough faith that they're gonna finally have all that stuff done and it's gonna be good to go. And it'll also be for sale on our website in the coming weeks. We're still putting together some more stuff, cleaning it up, making it nice and fancy for y'all so you get easy access. But this is the announcement. This is what it's all leading up to. Score to Soar. Graduate with 700 plus credit. You can even get but they got a free preview on there as well, so you can get a nice little snapshot of what it's like. And listen, you get the 7 steps right off jump, but it's not as fun if you go ahead and get the full copy. Again, I'm always thankful and grateful for each and every one of you for tuning in, for participating, and most importantly, the willingness that you have to change your own financial life and blueprint. Listen, we are in a time, if nobody is believing it, if you are still in denial, I'm going to need you to wake up. Okay? We are in a time to where you have to learn to be self-reliant. And that means taking 100% accountability and responsibility for yourself, for your finances, for your mindset, for your energy, for your space, and most importantly, for one another. Okay, so teamwork makes the dream work. Again, you can scan our QR code. That'll get you to the link tree. That'll get you to the book. That'll get you to our programs. That'll get you to the registration. That'll get you to all upcoming events. And it gets you to our YouTube channel to where you get to rewatch all of the replays. But I'm excited. I'm happy. This has just been a remarkable time being able to see this come to life. And so remember, all sales, or should I say, all of the royalties that we will receive back from Amazon, goes to support our financial literacy programs. Yes, the entrepreneur training, the job employment, as well as the curriculum and the after school program. So, again, thank you. I appreciate you as always for sticking around with your favorite money mama. We got some more books that's coming out this year for you guys, some more workbooks with our curriculum, and it's just an exciting time. So be sure to support us so we can continue to give you all of the good secrets and shares to be able to change and transform your life as we continue to build the bridge from poverty to prosperity. Until next line, much love and blessing. Peace.